Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host Matrix Lloyd 212, and I'm with Connor. What's up, Connor?
Hello.
So we finally got the teaser last week of season one of Doctor Who for Disney Plus, and now we got the trailer. What did you think today?
Um, I think that the whole promotional thing over the last couple of weeks has been really great. The first teaser, I thought, I went into it after Church on Ruby Road. I liked Church on Ruby Road, but like the
Right,
the long wait in between kind of took away my excitement for Doctor Who,
right,
and then so I went into that first teaser not expecting an awful lot. And then I saw that first teaser, and all of a sudden, my excitement went up because it feels very different now. This
right,
show, this show feels like it feels like a show with a bit of a budget behind it. Um,
right,
case in point being that dinosaur scene. Um,
right,
you would never have achieved that on a shoestring BBC budget back in the day.
right, right,
Um, completely different. I like Shooty's Doctor. I liked the look of every single episode that we've got a hint of so far. So I enjoyed the first teaser. Then today we got all 8 episode titles first came out, and I must admit, like the way that they presented that. So basically, what they did is for the course of about 3.5 hours, every half an hour they released like a small clip with
right,
the episode title somewhere within the clip to kind of give an indication as to what each episode is about.
right,
And I thought that was a really genius way of announcing each episode, and the writers as well. And that got my excitement up because all of the episodes look really intriguing. They all look like different genres as well, which is really interesting.
right.
Um, and then obviously we've got the second full length trailer, and that trailer, it was good. It probably didn't grab me as much as the first because it didn't feel like it kind of covered as much of the kind of contents of the episodes as it did kind of what the act. It was more like that would have probably done better as a first trailer because what it actually did
Teaser
better.
was better than the trailer.
Yeah, because what I think that the trailer did better than the teaser was actually introduce what the show is about
Right,
rather than the first teaser. The first teaser was very good at telling you what each episode is going to involve. So you
right,
saw a lot more of kind of the scenery of the characters and all that sort of stuff. Whereas kind of this trailer that we got today explained more about what the Doctor does. Because as well, you've got to remember that this new Disney era,
right.
this new era of Doctor Who is acting as like a jumping on point. It's basically another reboot of the show. So
Right, because people from Disney Plus don't know what Doctor Who is, so
exactly, exactly.
they're trying to and I understand that's why it's called season one. It's not called series. Like the last one was series. New Who was series. This is season one.
Yeah, we're now in
And
seasons. Yeah,
yeah, so I understand why that's the case. All right, so let's go over. You want to go over
the
the
episode
titles?
titles.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
yeah,
first one, RTD does it, right? The Space
yeah.
Babies.
He's written that. Yeah, Space Babies written by RTD.
And that looks like it's like, well, we saw the clip of actual babies in car seats, like just talking to the doctor because he speaks baby.
Yeah,
We know that. And then there's also creatures, right? Like or a
yeah.
creature, big creature.
So
Um,
the creature, we already know what the creature actually is because RTD gave it away in a documentary he did for the BBC, and
what
the
is it?
creature is the bogeyman. So you know the tale about the bogeyman that's with the kids, and it's like a very famous.
Boogeyman?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that big creature that you see in so in the first trailer when they're in the corridor talking about are monsters real? I think that was the dialogue. and then that big monster appears. That's the boogeyman. So that's the monster of the first episode.
Right.
I get the impression that one is a little bit Pixar. That they're kind of taking a bit of a Pixar hint from.
What's up, Philip?
Hi, Philip.
Hello, boys.
From Space Baby. So I think that's going to be kind of more like the Monsters Inc. Style episode. Maybe a bit more geared towards kids.
But terrifying.
Yeah, but terrifying. I think there'll be a certain horror element to it. It also reminds me a little bit of Alien as well. So I think that'll be kind of an infusement of them two. Yeah, so it's more about kind of like the boogeyman and some babies on a spaceship somewhere miles and miles away from Earth kind of thing. So that's basically the premise of the first episode.
Now, I want to, before we start jumping into episodes, I was not Philip's here. I want to talk to him a little bit. What did you think, Philip, of compared like the teaser to the trailer? Like we got the teaser last week, the trailer this week.
I feel like, can you hear me? Yeah, all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I feel like the trailer was a lot more informative than the teaser. Obviously, it will be because the teaser is obviously a teaser, small thing. But the trailer was good. They did reuse some scenes, which is what I thought to myself. They could have put a little bit more than what we've already seen. Rather than putting the one that we've already seen in the teaser, put some more extra bits in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool. It was cool. I enjoyed it. But I do like the fact you just spoke about the babies and things, right? So what if the babies are on a colony ship and that monster has devoured all the parents and stuff, and all that's left are the babies?
Well, from what I gather, the story of the boogeyman is the boogeyman's actually protecting the kids.
Oh.
I think so. I can't remember the exact folktale, but I think that's how it works in it. So I think it's actually it's like the mother on that ship.
Yeah.
So it might work a little bit like that, and he sees the Doctor and Ruby as a threat, and that's why it's kind of
that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Now, how many episodes is RTD writing of the season?
So RTD is writing 6 of the 8.
6 of the 8.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's writing quite a lot of them. Yeah.
So now episode 2 is Boom, right?
No, it's the Devil's Cord.
No.
Oh, the Devil's Cord is okay. So they Devil's Cord, and that's with the sister. Is that the sister to the toy maker?
Yes. So that
we assume it.
Yeah,
we assume it.
Yeah, we see her talking. You called. Is she talking to the toy maker?
I think she's talking to the Doctor.
But she said you called. Like he called her.
Possibly. I mean, it seems like a very out of context scene. So I think we'd have to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have thought it was the toy maker because the thing is that maybe she's able to communicate with him even though he's imprisoned.
Yeah, potentially.
Now, look at the side of her in that scene, right? She's the one that took the ring with the master in it. She's got it.
The master. Right, she has the master's thing that she'll probably release, I guess.
Yeah,
so we're in a situation where the doc, for some odd reason, right? The celestial toy maker was never able to come into our reality, right? From his own universe, but then somehow he is. He made quite big, bold statements that while he was here, he defeated God. He defeated like all these different peoples and entities, right? And then he did not want to go up against the one who waits, whoever that is, right? But because he got defeated, he reached out a distress call to his legion, which is, I guess, his group, right? So now, now everybody's coming gunning for the Doctor, I believe, right? So it's going to make like a supernatural element to it because they're all beings from another universe, right? So they're all beings from the toy maker's realm, I guess, or universe or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So now Jinx Monsoon is in episode 2, correct?
Yes. So
Yeah,
episode
that was
2,
cool.
her and the Beatles at Abbey Road. Yeah. So it's gonna have a lot of all the musical stuff that you saw in the trailer, both trailers, is in that episode.
But she's not the villain of the finale, correct?
Yeah, she's not in the finale at all, from what I gather. She
Okay,
might
so
be.
she's not
Yeah.
she's in episode 2, and then who knows what happens to her. But
Yeah.
wasn't the finale supposed to be the Daleks originally?
Yes. This is gonna.
That was the hearsay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna get interesting now to see what comes of that.
Because didn't he say the Daleks are not in season 1?
Yeah, he said that they're not in season 1, and now I'm actually starting to believe him. I think that it's going to be a bit different. I think that they're not going to have the Daleks at all.
Oh, so where did that report come from, though, that they filmed it and everything?
Well, people on set said that they thought that they heard someone on set say, "We need to roll out the Daleks now," like as in the Daleks were there on set and they needed them.
Oh, they said it in passing just to trick people, probably.
Well, maybe yeah, maybe it was a kind of thing. Yeah,
but isn't supposedly the Doctor faces off against someone big in the finale, and then that kid that is the one to help solve the episode, I guess, from Unit? Wasn't that the thing that was supposed to be? For
what you mean?
originally?
I don't know.
Oh, are you talking about Lenny? What's his face? The one that's on the yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he's in the finale.
But they said that the person in the finale is the Doctor's. Didn't they say that it was the Doctor's greatest foe or the greatest threat?
No, the Doctor's greatest threat apparently is Jinx Monsoon.
Okay.
Because when they marketed Jinx Monsoon coming into the show, in the same way that they said it about Neil Patrick Harris, they said that she was the Doctor's greatest foe.
At the moment.
Yeah, at the moment, and that's because she's a god. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, go back we'll go in order with the episode titles again. Go ahead.
Yeah. So episode 3 is Boom, which is by Stephen Moffat, and this is set on a futuristic war zone planet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I've heard is that it's that the episode is mostly staged around the Doctor on a mine. He steps on a mine and activates it, so he can't lift his foot off of it, or else he blows everyone to high heaven. The clergy from Time of the Angels is back in it.
Oh, him. Oh, they're not. Are they?
Yeah. Stephen Moffat.
Oh, wow.
Moffat, right?
Yeah. So they're back as soldiers in it, and there's ghosts involved in it as well.
No, I thought that there was the Bridgeton episode that was from Moffat. It's not.
No, it's that's Kate Herron and Bryony Redman.
So what are they talking about? A sequel to Girl in the Fireplace? That's just nonsense, right?
They were saying
go on,
they were saying it was a sequel to. I think that room is false anyway. Something about it doesn't add up.
That doesn't make any sense. It's not by Moffat, so they're not going to do.
It's not even by Moffat. No, exactly.
So they're not going to do a sequel to Girl in the Fireplace if it's not by Moffat.
No, exactly.
No, they're just romancing. I can't say that word, but they're just making it up. Please don't worry about that one.
Yeah, I think Moffat's is at the moment most people's most anticipated because it sounds like such a wacky idea. So that Ruby running around with a big rifle shooting stuff is Moffat's episode. So it's going to be a big action-packed, adventure. And we all know the way that he writes under RTD, so we know what he's capable of.
It's excellent. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think he's got like 100%. What did he write under RTD before? Blink, Girl in the Fireplace.
Everything. Everything that was like the greatest fucking episodes.
Yeah, so he did the Empty Child 2-parter, which was excellent. He did Girl in the Fireplace, which was excellent. He did Blink, which was excellent.
River
He
Song,
did,
right? I mean, it's like
yeah, the 2 River
Did he
Song.
did he do the Doctor's Wife or not?
no,
that was
that was yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, so under RTD, he's got 100% hit rate.
Right. That's why I'm looking forward to his. I told you he writes better with RTD.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So because he's not the showrunner, so he has to answer to rules, which I like that.
Exactly.
When he's in charge of himself, people can't tell him anything because I'm the showrunner.
It's going to be very weird having him and RTD back in the same year.
It's going to be excellent. It's going to be better, I think. Because Moffat does better on the RTD anyway.
Like, it feels weird that it's been 7 years since we've had a Moffat episode.
Right. I know. That's awesome.
And it's been 13 since we've had an RTD one. Well, apart from last year, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. So that's episode 3.
So 3, he steps on a mine, so it's like a Dr. Light episode, or no?
No, because he's actually in the scenes, but he's just on the mine.
He's just stuck there and he can't move, right?
Yeah, he can't move because if
and everyone else is acting around him, in that particular area to defend against. Yeah,
that's gonna be a twist. That's gonna be a twist. I'm not even. Without 73 yards. What's that?
This is the one that I'm most excited for because of the little clip that we got with the episode title reveal.
What was the clip? Describe it, because some people didn't see them.
It was like a pub sign, a public house sign, with snow in the background, and on the public house sign there's like a tree with red lightning. It looks really gothic.
Yeah, with a blasted tree, basically, withered and blasted tree.
But we don't know what they're about, though, right?
We don't know anything.
And then you can hear. Yeah, there's nothing there about it, and then you can hear crows crowing as the scene is playing. So that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, so it's very creepy, very gothic, very Tom Baker, like Hinchcliffe-esque.
I would agree with that. Yeah, good.
Which gives me even bigger excitement for it because it's.
Isn't the season like reminiscent of Pyramids of Mars? Because doesn't he take her to the future to show her what happens if they fail to stop whoever, and that everything's destroyed?
Yeah, I see your point.
Doesn't he take her to the future? Yeah, because doesn't he? It's like the fourth Doctor took Sarah Jane, right, to show her what happens if he doesn't beat Sutek, right? So doesn't he take Ruby to the future to say, look, if we can't just leave this.
Yeah, you're right. I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, you're right.
He's kind of what's happening is they want to capture the audience, a new audience, plus the old audience on Disney Plus. So he's probably doing bits and pieces of certain things they've done in the past in Doctor Who, but with a refresher look, like Pyramids of Mars, like where you took Sarah Jane to the future and say, look, this is the destruction and devastation of what will happen if we don't stop whoever, right? And then they go back and they take care of business. I could see that. I could see that because, like I said, it seemed to me like this whole thing is dark, like this season, dark and supernatural. And
dark.
That's what we want.
And
that's what we need. A bit of dark.
The girl that looks like with the thing on her head, right, the braid or whatever. That's probably the younger version of Miss Flood.
Ooh.
Are you talking about the one in the Slug episode?
I don't know if it's. I just seen the girl with
the girl with the long blonde hair.
With the Gwen Stacy thing in her head, like the braid. That looks like Miss Flood, but a young version of Miss Flood.
But why would?
Yeah, potentially.
Can we bring up like that image of that actress and do a comparison? Like you have a freeze frame the clip. Let me see. Let me get it. Let me get it. I just want to.
Okay.
I want to show you what I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about. I got it in my mind, but I can't. I don't know how to do all these rubbish. But
I just have to pause it. Yeah.
Is Susan Twist in this season?
Yes. So she's going to be in a few episodes. I don't know which ones, but she will be.
Is that Miss Flood?
Oh no, actually, she's definitely in the last two because she's playing S Triad, which if you switch,
the triad thing,
it spells TARDIS.
Wait,
what happened? Say that again.
So and that's why everybody thinks it.
Yeah,
because the rumors I was hearing. There's a rumors that I was hearing that the S triad was it? Yeah, well, it's an anagram of TARDIS, and the fact that the woman is a TARDIS, a human TARDIS or something. I don't know, but that was one of the rumors I was.
So the actress Susan Twist has so far played Mrs. Mary Drew in Wild Blue Yonder.
Oh, yeah.
And she was also in Church on Ruby Road as the woman in the bar.
The crowd, the heckler one.
When Ruby's band was playing. So she's supposedly appearing throughout the series as now. The rumor I've heard is that she's the meddling monk.
And they made her female. Made him female. Oh, for God's sake. Stop changing up blokes into women.
This one with the braid in her hair, right?
Yeah,
that's the one.
That's not Miss Flood. That's somebody else.
No, that's
it's somebody else.
Now, interestingly, you could be right because RTD in DWM Doctor Who Magazine last week said that she plays a major role in episode 5, and it's a bigger role than standard guest star. So she's going to be a big part of episode 5, which we'll come on to in a minute because we're literally going on to episode 5 now. Yeah, so she could be a young Miss Flood. But we'll see. We'll have to see for that. But she's playing a major character in the episode then.
Right. I want to ask you a silly question and I want to screen share this.
Yeah.
We know that Ruby steps on a butterfly and it alters the whole entire future of the human race to be a different creature, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to screen share this scene because I have a feeling we already got the solution in the. Did he use regeneration energy to restore the butterfly to life?
I have no idea.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? There's no inkling of that going on.
Hand, like he has the butterfly in his hand, like, hey, I just fixed the human race, thank God, because I just screwed it up. So
the dinosaur scene, I am 100% certain, is Ruby's first journey in the TARDIS, right?
Correct.
Of Space Babies. So
right.
Yeah,
I think that whole scene of her turning into a lizard and stepping on the butterfly is just going to be a quick gag for a couple of minutes.
Right, but he's going to fix it because, again, if he doesn't fix it, but then he's got to fix the Mavity thing too, no?
The Mavity thing is much bigger, yeah. So that'll probably be something to do with
the Time Lords returning, maybe, or no?
It's Susan Twist's character or Mrs. Flood's character or something like that. Yeah.
So you think she's a human TARDIS, you said?
Well, no, this is the point I was trying to make. Moffat did make a statement that's saying, look, keep an eye on the TARDIS, there's something definitely wrong with it. So I'm thinking that the TARDIS is busted up somehow, and that they temporarily use a human TARDIS. Which is
let me ask you a question. Well, I don't want to jump around, but the last episode, right? Did the teaser as the TARDIS, right? So is the TARDIS the villain?
I think
that's another thing that's been going around. Yeah, go on.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I think that things have felt a little bit weird since Donna spilt that coffee.
I see your point.
I thought it was weird since he split the TARDIS in two. Like,
I I think that
That's a very good point.
I think that Wild Blue Yonder is the start of exactly what this new era is going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a feeling that everything is going to come into play that we've been talking about the Doctor, the 14th Doctor and 15th Doctor can't really coexist. Even though like the thing's been a rare thing to buy regeneration, that it as much as the 15th Doctor's like, oh, you get better because I exist. That makes no sense because it's not like it's a Wi-Fi where the 15th Doctor's getting beamed memories of what the 14th Doctor does now. So like
Mm-hmm.
they have to reemerge, or else there's going to be some shit. So let me throw this out to you. What if we got this whole thing wrong? Like the thing that Moffat said, not Moffat, the thing that Russell T Davies said is a lie. It's just a big distraction from what his real plan is for bioregeneration. What if, because the 15th Doctor doesn't reemerge with the 14th, and say 14 dies, what if it's a thing that the Doctor becomes a paradox? That the Doctor can exist because he's dead, but does exist as an anomaly of time.
But then you have to put that to all the other previous Doctors for that to happen, because apparently they all
that was the thing he said that wasn't made canon. Even though he was just talking and he said, "Oh, I would like to think that bioregeneration went to every Doctor and split the universe." But he said that as a fan, but he never said he's creating that as a showrunner.
Okay, fair enough.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, the bioregeneration thing I still can't explain. I don't really understand an awful lot about it.
Because I think he's kind of got his friends talking to him saying, no, don't do that. That's stupid. Like Moffat. I know Moffat is a voice in his ear, and Chibnall. I heard that he wanted Chibnall to come back too, but Chibnall said no. But my thing is with Chibnall, I always saw him as a hack, right? And when people asked him, right, about the fugitive Doctor, he had no fucking idea because he never thought that far. What the fuck she was. But she had nothing to do with the Timeless Child. She was completely fucking different. So, like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would kind of want Chibnall to do an episode so you could fucking explain the Timeless Child thing. But I kind of want it to be where, like Russell T Davies implied, that it's the toy makers meddling that created this weird juggle piece in his history or something. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the Doctor Who magazine still lists the William Hartnell as the first Doctor, and then they had things where Toymaker said, "I battled a Doctor, not the first Doctor. A Doctor. I'm battling you, and I want to battle the next Doctor." But like everybody's like, no matter what, that thing is always going to be over our heads of what the hell, Joe Martin's Doctor is, and David Tennant, like 14, they never established that he can't regenerate. Like, everybody, hey, what's up, Scott?
Hey.
They just assumed that he's a leftover and that he can't regenerate. He can't
We've got the current Doctor in with us? Cool.
Philip Archer is like the 500th Doctor now. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like they never why would we assume that 14 is insignificant now? Like he doesn't count towards anything. He's the I'm sorry, and I know we all gotta be on for Shooty, but the whole thing of the whole history of Doctor Who is moving on.
Yeah.
And evolving and going forward. But we can't go forward if 14's still there. In my eyes.
You've got to sadly see the bioregeneration as a business model or a business decision.
I know that.
To keep Mr. Tennant attached to Doctor Who for as long as they can, because
Correct.
No!
if the ratings drop again, they're gonna wheel that.
This is what I'm about to say. He's saying
They're
exactly what I'm
gonna
saying.
wheel that fucker out, even if he's in a wheelchair in a care home.
All right, let me ask you a question. What if Shooty? Okay, what if Shooty is doing season 3, and they find out that it's the worst ratings in history, right? Did they kill him off and then
No, they don't kill him off. No, they don't kill him off. What they do is they go back to Tenet. They have him do another 2 or 3 specials and have it set up as though maybe Shooty's was compromised in some way. So then we have him regenerate to the next dude.
But he should technically regenerate into Shooty.
Yeah, he should.
Again.
But Tenet is I hate saying this, Tenet is RTD's little holdover in case
I know it's
people
his
are not,
security.
in case people are not too fond of how
it's a security
the show
deposit.
goes.
It's his.
Because even RTD has said that the BBC is going down the tanks.
Well, okay, so let's get into that, being that you brought it up. Okay, so there's been a lot of talk, a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people think people are mad about the whole Disney Plus, and RTD basically explained, look, another reason we did the thing with Disney Plus is BBC's not going to be around, and I don't want my favorite show to be extinct with the BBC, so I wanted it to move on from the BBC. So that's one of the main reasons that it went to Disney Plus, not because we're giving the finger to the BBC, and not because the BBC is going to die. I am accepting of that because I know that the BBC is not going to be around, and I know that Disney Plus is the future, right? But then people are making all this bullshit stuff that Disney Plus is only has Doctor for 2 years and that's done. There's no evidence. They have 4-year contract.
Yeah.
Because Russell T Davies basically said, I'm doing 4 fucking seasons, right? I mean, maybe it's longer than 4 seasons.
Look at the China deal. Look at the China deal they had during.
And Chibnall pissed them off by fucking with their culture, which is now another issue. But what I'm saying is, like, Disney Plus, Doctor's going to be on for at least 4 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Because Russell T Davies committed. But it's probably more because Russell T Davies probably will have Moffat be the showrunner after him until they figure out who the fuck. Because again, he's not going to give it to anybody else. He's going to give it to Moffat, and Moffat's ready because Moffat had enough vacation break. You know, what do you think, Connor?
I
don't know.
I don't think Moffat will take it over if the need arises to it. I don't think it'll be Moffat
him and Gates as well as joint showrunners.
I think Moffat wouldn't, because I think that Moffat is. I think that Moffat is less
enthusiastic.
Maybe less enthusiastic about coming back and doing it all over again than RTD was. Because
I did my run. I'm done. If you
want
to come back to do nips, do like maybe 1 or 2 things, fine. But I agree. I don't see.
Isn't he writing the Christmas special too, Moffat?
Well, allegedly, I don't think that he is, because I think RTD, the showrunner, tends to do the Christmas special. But I think with Moffat, he left, because we got to remember with Moffat as well, right? He did 4 or 5 years more. Now 6 years more than RTD did, because Moffat did RTD's era and then his own. RTD only did his era and then his era again. So I feel like Moffat has probably run out of ideas now.
Well, it wasn't just that though. They ran out of ideas. He didn't he go to traumatic experiences while Doctor was going on? Didn't he lose his mom or something like Moffat? Or
yeah, I think quite a bit.
With the monk episode that that got fucked up because that's what happened, and then that got messed up, and then other things happen. So
I think as well, Moffat's got his own production company now. He does he's kind of on he's like overseeing shows like The Devil's Hour with Peter Capaldi, which has been renewed for two further series. So he's got quite a lot of stuff going on in his back pocket that I think he's probably going to want to focus his energy on now a bit more. RTD came back with another vision for the show. And I feel like RTD, for better or worse, has a bit more of a savior complex to him than Moffat does. Moffat probably doesn't want Doctor Who to die, but I think Moffat would be less enthusiastic about coming back and saving it than
RTD be the one that has to be the savior.
RTD loves to be seen as this big hero of like,
exactly,
the big savior of British TV sci-fi tea time shows like Doctor Who. Like he came back in 2005 and brought Doctor Who back when no one gave a shit about it, apart from you lot, because I wasn't old enough at the time. But he wants to be that guy. Moffat doesn't. Moffat just wants to do kind of. I don't actually necessarily think that Moffat was. No, actually, he was, because I read Writer's Tale, and in that his email, basically RTD put the whole conversation him and Moffat when he first asked Moffat back in 2009 if he wanted to be showrunner, and he was pretty enthusiastic about it then. So I think he did always want to be showrunner.
But wouldn't he? But my thing is, here's the thing: we were told, like Karen Gillan ought to go up and want to come back. Right. Matt Smith said he would come back, right? Jenna Louise Coleman and Karen Gillan had dinner with Russell T. Davis. That was interesting. Alex Kington said she would love to come back if she could come back. Of course, Captain Jack, John Barrowman. So the whole thing is that wouldn't Moffat tend to be like, okay, I'm getting my gang back together, so like, if they're all willing to come back, I could have Shooty regenerate into the 11th Doctor and just not just do specials, but because here's the thing, like Moffat is like he doesn't like that his plans get fucked up, right? So in his brain, he would always have wanted to do that fucking extra season that he was supposed to be with Matt Smith, right? Like, it was like a thing, like he had to accomplish it. Even if it's done, he probably would want. So he probably would do a whole goddamn season for spite with Matt Smith again. But like, I guess as the 16th Doctor being the 11th Doctor, whatever. Because now he could bring everybody back. He could bring River. He could bring Clara. He could bring the Ponds, and he could wrap it up real nice. Because he always had a problem when I went to filming. And he was there, right? There was all these things that were filmed that was never put into the episode, and it was supposedly he was so traumatized by how to end it because he didn't want to end it the wrong way with the Ponds that it changed on the fly, like stuff he filmed was scrapped or maybe to be used later, who knows? But it didn't sit well, even though he finished it the way the Ponds ended. And then the thing with Clara too, maybe he kind of ended it that way because he kind of was subconsciously pissed off that she was leaving, Jenna Louise Coleman, but then came back, and then he had to throw out those scripts. So he kind of like put shit in there like fuck her or whatever, but not really meant to do it that way. But like I tend to think that Moffat would see this as a second chance. I got the gang back together. I'm happy. This is one of the happiest times of my life, and I'm going to be showrunner again. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think Matt Smith would come back for a full series.
Really?
Because he's too busy about to do the second season of the other show.
Yeah, but how long is that really going to go on?
That's going to go on for about 4 seasons. But I actually think that Matt Smith is going to have a bigger career in America than David Tennant is.
Well,
I
He
think
tried.
David
tried.
Tennant or Matt Smith.
No, Matt Smith tried.
Matt
But-
Smith is succeeding. House of the
Right.
Dragon is a huge success.
Right. No, I know.
You know, it's shocked. It took everyone by surprise. It's probably going to be by the end of its run as big as Game of Thrones.
You think it's gonna be as big?
Yeah, I think it'll be as big as Game of Thrones. So
he's filming now season 3, right?
Yeah, I think season 3 is about to start.
So by the time Shooty's done with season 3, he'll be available because season 4 will be in the can.
Yeah, but by that time, he's probably going to have a load of movie roles. Let's not forget.
You really
as well,
think so, though? Because he had roles like Terminator and stuff like that, and nothing came to fruition.
Yeah, but let's not forget that his last movie role, which actually I thought was his best film, it was Last Night in Soho, which is Edgar Wright.
Oh, I love that one. Oh, I love that.
Not a small time director. It's fucking Edgar Wright. You know, he's set his stall out. He's going to be working with big directors. I think. Same with Shooty. I think Shooty eventually is going to be working with big directors.
But do you think Shooty is only doing 2 seasons?
No, I think Shooty is going to do 3.
He's doing 3.
Yeah, it's just going to take a break between 2 and 3, filming wise.
Yeah.
Because by the time they get around to filming season 3, season 2 will be on screen. So they'll still.
Well, let me ask you a question. Now this comes into play because he has to film. They can't just take a break from filming. So we heard a rumor that the 14th Doctor is involved in the season finale of season 2. Right? So
okay.
Like so could there be a situation that he just takes over a season because Shooty's not ready, or he does more specials?
No, I think
David Tennant.
I don't think RTD would screw up that much.
No, I don't think you'll do that again, because once and enough. If you keep doing that, it just kind of
gets old.
I can't explain it. Yeah, basically, yeah.
It gets old.
But he has him. He has him there that he could use him any fucking time he wants.
But that will draw away from Shooty. And what they want is want to make
sure already drawn away from
always
Shooty?
is always in the forefront.
But the problem is,
is long gone by have them constantly.
But they wired off Reigns.
It makes it as though Shooty was never his first choice, and Shooty was just sort of like a.
But they've always wired our brains that the show's about change and moving on. But again, we can't move on if the 14th Doctor's there.
Yeah.
Because people are always going to say that 15 isn't a real Doctor because 14's still there.
Yeah, they're going to start treating Shooty.
You can't do it that way. You can't do it that way. They can't be separated.
No, it's almost as though they're going to start treating Shooty as the
if Shooty's character dies, you just go right to the 14th.
We already know.
No, why can't they just use Paul McGann and give him a season or something, rather than keep bouncing back to Tennant all the time?
Because 14 so like if 15 dies, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Right, Connor, or no?
We already know when 14's character ends because in the episode in the Giggle, Shooty says to him that this is your healing phase. So once he's healed from all the trauma of the last 60 years, he then turns into Shooty. So whatever happens with 14,
how the fuck does that work? Because, like, in other words, the Shooty that we got from the Giggle is a futuristic Shooty?
Yeah, from a little bit further on in the timeline.
That's what that is?
Yeah.
That's what was said, yeah. That's what was implied.
So it's implied that he's a little bit further on in the timeline than so he's the next Doctor, but he probably didn't expect to appear that soon in the timeline because obviously the Toymaker brought him back in the timeline to basically collide with 14's Doctor in that moment. So Shooty.
So in other words,
That's all.
14's healed, but he didn't regenerate.
Shooty's Doctor is the result of 14, but he is supposed to come about when this healing period, so basically his retirement, ends. We only saw the start of his retirement at the end of the giggle. So
Makes sense, yeah.
When he
So he's
goes
going to regenerate into Shooty.
He's going to eventually regenerate into Shooty, but he's got
And
to go through the healing process first.
And bear in mind, Tennant still has a TARDIS. So after he's healed, he'll go back to whizzing around somewhere, and then end up dying wherever he ends up dying. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So he'll use the TARDIS to go back to the point where Shooty was originally probably from, and then he'll turn into Shooty, and then the timeline will just kind of like close back in.
Snap back into play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and the TARDIS will merge.
Well, I mean, it'll find probably some way of disappearing and not coming back.
But they're going to deal with it. They're going to deal with the TARDIS this season anyway, coming up. So we'll know what's up with that as we watch.
I think it's going to be irrelevant because ultimately, at the end of the day, we'll never see that second TARDIS on screen again.
So in other words, it like the Doctor's going to. It's all going to be put back together the way.
Yeah, it'll eventually be. I mean, Shooty said that himself in the episode. He said that, you basically turn into me once you've healed. So we already know that the timeline's going to fix itself. It's not a permanent thing.
It's just that because Toymaker doesn't belong to this universe, he was never meant to kill the Doctor because he's not part of this universe.
He was powerful. He was powerful, so he managed to manipulate an event.
Right, but he wasn't supposed to be the one that killed the 14th Doctor.
No.
Right. So that's why the 14th Doctor has to properly regenerate.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a minor kind of incident in the timeline that has caused it to kind of go a little bit crazy. As soon as
the Doctor in the Church of Ruby Road, that's not Shooty from a further timeline. That's him.
That's that Shooty. So we see Shooty
in the proper timeline.
Back in the timeline now. So
that's the beginning Shooty.
Yeah, that's the beginning. So we see Shooty's Doctor, but at an earlier point in the timeline.
You want to be careful about saying beginning shooting because so we all know what happens with a certain actor on a certain movie. So.
Oh yeah.
That'd be such a Goldwyn, by the
way. Don't be rusty.
Yeah, don't be rusty.
No, that's bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So in other words, we're not going to have specials with Tennant anymore. You don't think?
No, I don't.
No.
We won't. I don't think we'll see Tennant.
We can't have like one more John Sim versus David Tennant, like Master and Doctor anymore.
If they do, I'll say this much: if they do, they may try to shoot for more of the.
I want one more.
The YouTube video things. They may try
with Don and Noble though. I want one more.
Do you want me to be absolutely honest? Honest, right? When the announcement came out that Tennant and Donna was coming back, I was as excited as everyone else.
Right.
When I watched the episodes, they were the worst part of every special. Maybe the exception of the first. And parts of the second. I thought that Tennant was okay. Catherine was okay. But it wasn't worthy of a huge comeback.
Well,
no.
I mean, to be fair, if we could explain it away, David Tennant's Doctor isn't exactly 10. It's like 14, but
no, it's 14. He's slightly different.
He's 14. I mean, he's been a lot more erratic and emotional and screaming than 10 had it put together, he's kind of breaking down, right? So like,
It
and
was
then,
a waste of a year, though, because you could have had a year of another series with a new Doctor, something
but they
different.
couldn't because he wasn't ready. Shooting
No,
was filming.
exactly. So it is a
No.
stopgap. They weren't ready. So
I
it was
just
never-
felt that whole shit was hodgepodge together because he really didn't have anything. So in Star Beach, they grabbed beat the meat from the comic strip. Okay, Wild Blue Yonder was just shit to my eyes, and then the Giggle. Okay, but it seemed to me like it was just let's just get some clay and phone it in and put some shit
The
together.
Star Beast, in my belief, the Doctor Who
pronoun thing ruined
one of the
the whole
magazine
program.
was so much superior than the one that we got.
But the pronoun thing,
Yeah,
the
true.
teaching all
I
that
agree with that.
That's
That
what
was- that was
ruined.
ruined.
That's what took
That
me out of
ruined.
the thing. That's what really took me out of the thing, because what he should have said, he should have looked at them and says, "Listen, this pronoun stuff may also lead to war on other planets, and since I have been traveling through time and space a lot, I think I know better than you. So shut the f up."
I mean, it just the pronoun thing kind of took off the steam of
There was no reason for it to
killed
be
the
there.
momentum because you're
There was
teaching
no
a
reason
lesson.
for it to be there. They were just
Yeah.
woken the shit out of that episode.
Yeah, the woke thing. First of all, this is what's going to happen. The woke thing is going to be extinct soon.
Yeah.
It's already killing Hollywood. It's killing every damn franchise there is, and there's going to come a point in time where they're going to be like, enough, because we can't do this anymore, and the woke shit's going to go away. It's going to go away. It's going to completely die, and then we're going to have a whole new era of everything. I mean, already Star Wars too. They still want to continue with the woke thing, and that's not going to fucking work. You know, and Doctor Who's got to get rid of that woke shit too, because
Yeah.
you know. But I have a feeling
Because
that
when you're stressing too much on DEI, you're taking away too much from the storyline. And it's the storyline of the Doctor trying to figure something out. And if you're walking around with this whole ideology, oh, I gotta walk on eggshells because I might offend this section or this section.
well, they give more.
Then
They
you
give more
destroy
importance to
the
the
destroy the
companion.
nature of the Doctor. And you destroy the concept.
Right, the
of the
companion scolding the Doctor about
Yeah.
pronouns. He's a fucking alien that he doesn't know what the fuck
Yeah.
like pronouns are. Like that's just you want the Doctor to be an alien, and you don't want him to be
You want
human,
him to
but
be
then you want him to
compassionate,
be.
you don't want him to be weak.
And you
by
want him
doing
to be
this
human,
pronoun
like human.
part of that
Nobody wants to
bullshit,
fucking.
You're making him weak.
You don't want him to
just
use
think-
pronouns.
I just think narratively we could have done a lot better without them 3 specials. I understand why them 3 specials were made, but they weren't necessary. I don't think that a lot of people in a couple of years' time will necessarily rank them highly.
They
No.
they
I
could have
kind of
done.
feel. Let me just say
They could
something.
have done
One
YouTube.
second.
I'll say this much: they could have done YouTube shorts to carry us over better than.
I kind of
what
feel
expect.
that it was more important for Russell T Davis to talk about the message, and it could have been. Oh, okay, hold on. Sorry.
It was an anniversary special. Like RTD hates anniversary specials. He really does. I think actually he said that in a recent interview because he said that there's not going to be a 20th anniversary special.
Yeah, well, he don't want to take away from the Doctor Who, because it's still Doctor Who, even though it's like it should be season, whatever the fuck it is, 50, whatever the fuck I don't know.
This restarting from the first seems.
He just
They did that because of Disney Plus. That's why.
I feel like that the 3 Tennant and Tate specials just were there because he wanted to do something for the 60th year.
Yeah.
F4 series was never going to be ready. Tate and Tennant came up to him with this crazy idea of coming back. He thought, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then he kind of got roped into doing it. But the 3 stories, while good, I mean, they're better than the last 6 years of Doctor Who, I think, before that. They're not going to rank highly among people's personal.
Well, like
favorites.
I said, I was saying, like, I feel that he used Doctor Who to spread the message about transgender and all that, because that took away from the whole. Like, you're like, what am I watching? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was more about Donna Noble's kid than anything else. What's up, Kate?
Oh, I just woke up. Sorry.
What's going on?
Wait, Scott, can you go back to what you were saying earlier about the pronoun thing is going to lead to planetary war? Because that was an interesting point, I thought.
No, I said basically with the Doctor being an alien, the whole notion that to some cultures being woke and being pronounish, since they don't follow that, it could lead to war within other cultures and all that, and other
Yeah, but
races.
what do you mean by pronounish? Because like presumably Time Lord, like I mean Time Lords are delineated by like they have male and female Time Lords, right? So it's not like they wouldn't have pronouns to address them.
But just like we see in today's culture, how everybody wants to stress their pronouns, how do we know that? And you know how pronouns change like every 5 seconds. How do we know the pronoun of, let's say, my culture matches yours? So a pronoun word that I use could mean I'm insulting you in yours, or
I know what you're saying.
or declaring war
Yeah.
in yours.
I know. So in other words,
Yeah.
let's just say they start using pronouns and they're on an alien planet, and the alien planet culture is like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I like this with the pronouns. Let's fucking adopt this as our fucking whole way of life." And then the fucking thing crumbles because it's for Earth, not for. I know.
Yeah.
I think that's what
Yeah.
you're saying. Correct.
Sounds like a Discovery episode.
Well, like Star
Oh,
Trek.
season 5's supposed to be coming out. I'm
It's
waiting to see that
an
turn
Orville
red.
episode, maybe, because I think they did that, didn't they? In Orville, they adapted that. Yeah, I think it was. An
Yeah,
episode of
like
Orville.
the thing with that with the Star Beast, and like because I was watching it too I was really excited for it actually when I first saw it. It was the pronoun shit was weird. Like it came out
Yeah.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
And also what I thought was interesting is that like okay, so Rose, what's her name? The daughter of Donna.
Rose.
Yeah, Rose.
Yeah,
Rose.
she's like she's ostensibly a trans woman, right? Right? Because like they talk about her being trans and like she gets bullied by those people at the start.
Hello, Sticks.
And so like ostensibly she's a trans woman, but then at the end it's like, oh no, actually I'm non-binary. Because they're repeating
Well,
the
they
stuff about Donna
explained it.
being
She
non-binary.
said that the reason she is trans and she's not sure what she wanted to be is because of because of the meta crisis. Being
Yeah, but if
she could be anything, but that's why she's confused because she thinks she's Earthling, but yet she has Time Lord stuff in it that's from a different culture. So like she could be a man or a woman, but from Earth standards, you could only be one or the other, but you can't be both. So didn't they explain it away? They kind of defeated the whole purpose and ruined the whole point of trans because the only reason she's a trans is because of the meta crisis energy.
well, yeah, it was almost like she was trans because of a mistake with this
With the energy
generation.
from Donna
I don't
Noble
know.
carried
It
over
was-
to
it
her,
was-
right? But
it was
that kind of like shit on trans rights and trans people in general because
Mhm.
you're using the wrong show to promote trans rights and trans people because you just said that she's only trans because of the meta crisis energy, not because she was, trying to decide what she wants to be. So it's only that. So that kind of defeats the whole
Bingo.
fucking point of
You're,
everything.
you're disrespecting whatever.
You just shit on your own cause.
Yeah.
This is why I'm saying, as super intelligent as Russell T Davies is, he's also super stupid sometimes because it's just like, how do you become stupid with that? Like, you want to, I get it, you want to, but then that's not the way to do it because then
You
you're
want to be
saying that.
honest, but when you're insulting somebody's intelligence at the same time,
But you're saying that
defeating the
trans
purpose.
people are fake because you're saying that it
Yeah.
only should exist because of the meta crisis energy, not that she made the decision to change her sex just regularly because she was always a meta crisis / Time Lord / thing. And even though they expelled it, her whole being is being a meta crisis Time Lord being. So if you expel it, what the fuck are you?
You're no longer, if you're spelling it, then you're no longer what you say you were.
But then when you say you're not trans anymore because you know exactly what you are, if
Can't
I
say
don't
you're
know.
non-binary.
He
either, 'cause
ruined-
it spelled what was supposed to be.
he tried to say the message and he fucked it up.
Yeah, it was nonsense and it was really poorly handled. Like I watched it with my boyfriend when it came out, and we were just like what the fuck is this? Like, what are you
Because
trying to
he's
do?
the doctor. You want to establish he's an alien, and he's from a high civilization of billions of years of culture. So this shit about use the pronoun is beneath him because they're beyond that now. They're beyond that now, right?
Yeah, well,
Time Lords are so beyond that.
Yeah, that's the same issue that I have with Discovery, right? It's like they put so much attention on it, and it's like it wouldn't even register because it would just be, if we are this highly advanced race, it would just be part of the norm. It's like the thing with Picard being bald, and it's like he gave that famous response where it's like, oh, wouldn't you have the cure for baldness in the 25th century? It's like, well, they wouldn't care in the 25th century. They wouldn't fucking care what you
give a shit, right?
Yeah, and remember, also Gene Roddenberry said when Star Trek was initially came out, there was supposed to be no war and no and all this. But yet then when Discovery comes around, it's like, oh, we've got this, and you're supposed to give a shit. We've got this, and you're supposed to give a shit. And I'm thinking, Gene Roddenberry's idea was here we are, we're in the future, and whether you're a blue-eyed dog or whatever, it shouldn't matter.
They ruined everything. But I want to get back with Doctor Who for a second. So, that's the point, is that, this show, I think Russell T. Davies, when it comes to their own personal shit and them trying to
write too much of their own,
they kind of get stupid because they're, I get to talk about what I want to talk about, but you forget that he's a fucking Time Lord. And so it's like you're going to the doctor, like, oh my God, we got to travel by car. Why? We can walk. No, we gotta. Oh my God, car broke down. How am I gonna get to my next destination? Walk or the TARDIS or whatever. It's like this society is like fucking.
They want to extend. It's almost as though they want to extend the talking part of the show instead of.
It's like the iPhone, right? Like you handed the rotary phone to the kids. They don't know what to fucking do. Oh my God, I have to fucking turn the dial to dial the phone, right? So they're not knowing, they're just not realizing, because they always had the iPhone and it just does it for them. But you have to actually do the work, and your finger has to hurt because you have to dial it around. Tick, 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 tick. And you're going to tick, tick. I remember when I was a kid, and I used to have to use the rotary phone. And I remember it hurting my finger to just
it didn't hurt, but I do remember it.
It did, because I didn't know how to. It was just like I was a kid, and I was baby hands, like 5, 4, whatever, 3. So I'm like, but these kids don't know any of that stuff. So you talking to the doctor and saying pronouns, and he's looking at you like, oh yeah, that's so 5 billion years ago. Because he's from an advanced civilization, where they got it together where they don't need pronouns anymore. Now it seems like when we evolve, that won't even matter. You know what I'm saying? But they got to scold him. But yet, this is the thing that makes no sense, because she was the Dr. Donna. But now you're going backwards, being a human, but scolding, that made no sense at all. And he just, the funny thing is he didn't say anything, because he's, in his brain, he's like, you're a fucking imbecile. But he's just not saying, he's like, oh, all right, yeah.
Sticks brought something up. He said the rotary would confuse kids of today. It's funny because I remember there's I can't remember if it's YouTube or Facebook shorts. They were showing kids.
Right.
I think it was a touch tone phone.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So they hand them the receiver. No sooner than they type, I think either before or after they typed it out, they hung up the phone. It's like,
they don't know how to use it. Right. They don't fucking know how to use it. So that's funny. Yeah, I just, and then it's just, it got lost. That superseded Doctor Who coming back, because it's going to be known as not Doctor Who coming back. Russell T. Davies just wanted to talk about transgender rights.
Oh, and also just the whole show is off. That Christmas special, there was nothing sci-fi about it. And
that's the point. Yeah. He's trying to make it. He's trying to make Doctor Who like Merlin and science, and science is out the window, and now it's like Doctor Strange, and it's like
the second episode was more sci-fi than those.
That was supernatural. Also, that was I think in the season. He said, Kate Stewart says, "Oh, everything's supernatural now."
Yeah, there's going to be sci-fi episodes in it. For example, Moffat's is going to be a hard sci-fi episode.
Right, so but they're going to do. But that's the thing is like, I don't know if you guys ever like saw, but like, did you ever see how like when Doctor Doom defeated Reed Richards by putting him in a fucking library of magic books, and of course, Reed Richards is against magic. He doesn't think it exists because he's science. So he's not. He's like, I don't understand it because magic is bullshit, right? But like that's how Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom was also magic, right? So
Well,
like,
that's the same as the Doctor in many ways, because I think it was at the end of Wild Blue Yonder, or during Wild Blue Yonder, he kind of makes a reference about how the supernatural like can't exist.
right.
So something behind the scenes is going on to make the supernatural exist in this world
yeah.
where he believes it can't. So it's this whole science against magic debate, I think, and RTD wants to kind of address that.
I
I
don't
just
kind of
hope
like
they-
that at all.
Yeah, I hope they explain it because the Doctor, to me, like you know, I think of that. What's that? The John Pertwee one with the like the occult one with the Master.
Oh, the Daemons.
Yeah, the Daemons. Like he's very much. It starts with him like using a remote control on Bessie to be like, oh, it's magic, but it's not because it's actually just science. And then it's like even David Tennant in season 2 with the devil thing. It's like he refuses to accept it because it doesn't. You know, it's outside
Right.
of his knowledge, and it's like I just hope the Doctor has always been someone who's believed in science and has when he's seen things that are supernatural or unreal, gone towards a scientific explanation of them, and for
Correct.
him to just like default and be like, oh, actually everything's fine now, everything's possible. It just seems weird, and
It's
yeah.
just magic, sure. It's like what?
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
look, and look at
magic
the
is just
Fourth Doctor's comment to Leela. He says, "Magic, Leela."
Yeah,
And I think it
exactly.
was when
Well,
he's talking about the whole interior and exterior of the TARDIS.
yeah, but remember the witches in the David Tennant story. The what was it with Will Shakespeare? They were
Oh, the
like
Shakespeare.
magical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
They were
That was-
magical, but
So
they
that
were
was-
science in a way.
That was a
'cause they were
science
from
of
another
language, yeah,
dimension or
'cause they-
another planet.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
those
suppose
witches
so.
had gone down the route of like using words as like a
Mhm.
science in themselves, and they could conjure things with them. So it was still
I mean,
scientific. Yeah.
Tooth and Claw.
Yeah.
Tooth and Claw, they used werewolves, which is magic,
Yeah.
and they actually used a science-based contraption to resolve that, didn't they? Because they used the gemstone with the
The
microscope.
And the
The
telescope.
telescope thing. Yeah.
telescope. I think that it's going to end up being scientists. So I think it's going to be Time Lord scientists using the supernatural as a
Well, then
force.
you could look. Well, as we know that Tecto Unit is coming back, maybe she's responsible behind all
I
this
guess she
rubbish.
died.
I don't know. No,
Didn't
she's
she get
not. She's
killed
back.
I've got a theory about
By that, whatever.
Tectoon. So anyway,
Because I think the biggest possible threat, actually thinking about it, could be someone like the Daleks, let's say, or the Time Lords, harnessing the power of the supernatural to take over the universe.
But see now here's the thing. I don't Russell T Davies doesn't want to have the Time Lords at all.
I think that a few Time Lords will appear throughout.
Okay.
The
you
man,
could
the
have an
man,
internal wrestle on and have it proven that
First
his
of all, you have to
who
explain-
started the whole.
You have to. I would
Time
assume
child.
that the toy maker grabbed the master on that planet as he was dying, looking like Rasputin, and say, "Hey, play this game." So I assume it's oh fuck, Sasha
Smith?
Dewan's master
Oh,
that he defeated, and then when the master
Yeah.
emerges, because that's why supposedly they had dinner, right? Sasha Dewan and RTD, because there was a possibility that his master returns, right? And then I guess he would regenerate into somebody else. But I think that's when we see the master, it's going to be Sasha Dewan's master that emerges from that tube.
yeah, potentially.
Maybe. Could be. Yeah.
Because I don't just believe that they go to dinner just to go to dinner. I believe that there's always something behind it. Like, the fact that Russell T Davies had dinner with Karen Gillan and Jenna Louise Coleman, like, I think there's something more to that. Because everything's always been about a dinner and something more than that. So, but we'll see.
You know about the
Yeah.
story of how Dudley Simpson got sacked? Dudley Simpson was the guy who did the music in Doctor Who from like 68 to 1979 when John Nathan Turner came on board. John Nathan Turner invited him to like a really expensive dinner, and he's like, "Oh, great, this bird's really well," and he just fucking sacked him after like 15 years. So,
I mean, but in these cases, the dinners lead to something productive, not, like I said. I mean, that's the way it's been lately. Whenever he took them out to dinner, it's like they appear in Doctor Who or whatever, So we'll see. But we did hear, I have a feeling we'll see some specials with Matt Smith. I don't know if you agree with that comment.
No, I think
Going back to the
US now for that.
Yeah, going back to the episode titles that we got today or whatever. What ones pops out for each one of you that stands out for all of you so far?
I haven't even had a chance to look, so I'm going to.
Empire of Death, kind of.
I like the Empire of Death.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, but the weirdest one to me, and the one that, like, I'm a bit like, what the fuck is? It is.
What was it again?
Dot and Bubble.
Oh, Bubble and Dot.
Bubble?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, whichever way.
Yeah.
Which is the Miss Flood episode?
No, we don't know.
She's going to be in a few of them, I think. She won't be in.
I mean, I saw her drop her bags.
That is from.
Yeah,
that is a reused shot from Church on Ruby Road.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Is it possible that she's just a Time Lord with dementia?
What? No.
Listen. When he was on Trenzalore, right?
Yes.
He had dementia because he called the person. What was the thing he kept calling the person? He's like, "I'm not this person," and he kept saying the name. He had kind of sort of dementia, like when he was on Trenzalore, because he was so old.
No,
well, there you go.
So she could be a Time Lord that's just forgot she's a Time Lord and forgot she could regenerate.
She winked at the camera.
No, she's
full well.
Exactly. She knows what she's doing.
Isn't she the Ronnie, maybe?
Yeah, I think.
I was thinking she was exactly. I thought maybe she's the Ronnie.
She should be the Ronnie.
The company.
No, because they were.
Go on.
The problem with you saying the Ronnie, she's too scientific to be like that as a person, unless she's using a chameleon arch.
Excuse me. In Mark of the Rani, what did she disguise herself as?
Yep, exactly.
I know Washwoman. Yeah, fair enough.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like you're saying like they're not allowed to use it. I think that's out the window because Russell T Davies is so fucking powerful. He probably paid off everything so he can use the Ronnie. Why not?
Do we really want the Ronnie to come back through? Like,
I think I do actually. I think I do because you know what?
Because I'm sorry, it gets old. It has gotten literally old saying, okay, you got the Master, you got the Cybermen, you've got the Daleks. It would be great to see somebody other than those three pop up every now and then.
You know what it is? When Russell T Davies and Moffat did it the first time, and then there was always talk about bringing the Sea Devils and everything. They overthought it, and they're like, "Oh, we can't bring them back because it has to be a good enough story." And then people brought them back, and they're like, "Why don't we just bring them back? Why don't we?" So then I think it's totally different now. And now I think it's, we regretted not doing things the first time around. The second time around, let's just bring any fucking body back we want to, like the Toy Maker, this, that. No fucking rules. Life's too short. So I feel why not just bring back the Ronnie? Fuck it. She just been on Earth for so fucking long, she don't even remember what the fuck is what.
I mean, they could definitely bring her back. I just don't really. The Ronnie has never stood out as a character like on par with like the Master or the Daleks or anything for me. Like she's.
I mean, they said that they all went to school together, and she's like, they're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, but like, what's her personality?
Right? It was like, what the fuck is wrong with you two? Like, right? Like,
what's her character trait? Like, she's stern. That's it.
I think the Ronnie gets a bad rap because she's in two pretty horrific stories. Well, to be honest, Mark of the Rani's okay. I don't mind that one.
But she just is seen as like she went to school with them. she didn't get engaged with them, but she didn't give two fucking shits about both of them.
Yeah, but what?
But,
Yeah, but what can you do with the? What can you do with the Ronnie as of now, though? Because all she is a scientific genius. That's all she is.
Well,
she's a scientific genius that's making supernatural real, probably.
There you go. That's how they could. There's the angle right there.
Hear me out with this, right? So the Rani's a scientist. Let's say that Anita Dobson's character, Mrs. Flood, is the Rani. Now let's say that Susan Twist's character is the meddling monk. The meddling monk's not necessarily a scientist, is he? He's more like a magical timey.
No, he's not a scientist. He's just
again.
I can't say that word.
Again, it's that whole thing about science against magic. So you probably have them two team up against the Doctor, and then you've got exactly what the thematic approach to this season is, and probably this entire era.
And it leads to the Ronnie being,
I'd much rather see the meddling monk than the Ronnie.
Yeah, I would as well, to be honest. I mean, he's what you call it, because he likes changing history and mucking about with it. So that's more of a pull.
One that brings the supernatural aspect into it, whereas she's the one that brings the scientific. So she, we're seeing that whole. I think that there's many places where we're seeing that whole kind of battle between science and fantasy, and also the name of the company that's supposed to be the big bad is called Triad Technology. Now, Triad is obviously three. It's like a three-pointed triangle, whatever. Let's say.
That's the point.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
Though. That's like point of three with Chibnall did though.
So it could be three Time Lords. You know, the Doctor.
Well, then you got. Well, then you got Tecteun, the Rani, and the monk. Then all three of them.
Tecteun
or Rassilon.
Let's say Tecteun is back in it. She's going to be in the next series because she wasn't filming for this one.
The next one. I thought she was in this one.
Look, I just with her existence, I just feel that if you got Rassilon to come back and be like, yeah, she always tried to make it like she was somebody. She was never fucking one of the three of us. It was always like fucking Rassilon or fucking Omega or whatever. Like, she didn't even fucking exist, and she just did.
This is why when I was doing the whole rewrite of a lot of this stuff, have it revealed that that Tecteun was actually just one in a handful of Time Lords had gone out to see where the giant vampires were invading our system, and when the whole timeless child, pardon my French, horse shit came around, have it set up to where Rassilon was the one who created that in order to screw with the Doctor because of what happened in Hellbent, and then also with the Master, since he slipped it to him covertly in the last half of the part 2 of Endless Time.
But the biggest mistake was we learned that Chibnall did not watch every episode of Doctor Who, so they had no fucking idea that the Time Lords were free from the fucking dimension. So when he did his fucking shit, they're still in there. That makes no sense because they got out. So, like, are you fucking retarded? Like, before you write for Doctor Who, you got to know what the fuck you're talking about, and you got to know what the fuck happened a year or 2 or 3 before that they explained that they got out of that dimension. They got out, and that they were. That's stupid.
Don't you think it's cruel there to make people watch Chibnall stories?
No, I'm saying Chibnall didn't watch. I'm saying Chibnall didn't watch Moffat's stories because Moffat explained that they got out of there, the Time Lords. So, like, he just fucked up.
You know, Plague is the Wise, there is actually an incredible tragedy to Chris Chibnall because there was actually a resurfaced quote from DWM a couple of years ago where Stephen Moffat talked about Chris Chibnall, and apparently he created the greatest monsters for the show that Stephen Moffat had ever seen. So they took, ironically, Chris Chibnall to dinner, and they were going to tell him. Stephen Moffat went in there like 100% intending on telling him how great the script was, and that he can't wait to make it. And then the two executives on either side of Stephen Moffat basically turned around and said, you're now going to have to tell Chris Chibnall that we cannot afford to make these villains, these monsters. And to this day, they have never been seen in the show. And Stephen Moffat went on Twitter yesterday when this resurfaced and said that he hopes to God, still to this day, that they find a way to make them villains happen because they're the best monsters.
So those villains never appeared?
Them villains have never appeared. And also, Gareth Roberts, who obviously wrote a couple of episodes for the show before
good old Gareth.
Good old Gareth before he exposed himself as a massive bigot.
No, not old Gareth. Bite your tongue.
He read the original script for Cold Blood and The Hungry Earth, the Silurian two-parter from season 5.
Right.
And apparently in the original form, that was the best script he's ever read from Doctor Who.
In the original form, until they fucked it up.
In its original form before.
Well, so was the other one. The story was that oh god, why can't I remember?
The Neil Gaiman one, because I've heard the
Thank
same
you.
for that one.
Neil Gaiman had left the fucking script in the taxi, and then Moffat had to help him rewrite it, which is why it came out fucking shitty. Not the Doctor's Wife, the one after it, the Cybermen one.
Nightmare in Silver.
Yeah, that was total shit podge because Moffat had to help him, and it got fucked up, and it was Moffat's vision, sort of. Not so that was like, what would it have been if he fucking? I can't believe that happened.
I actually think.
Okay, fine. Okay.
I think that they've put the original Nightmare in Silver script, that one that you're talking about, on the BBC website now because they've got this whole collection of scripts now.
But how did he get it if there was no other copy?
They must have had a copy somewhere, unless it was for the Doctor's Wife. No, it might have just been the Doctor's Wife one.
Yeah, because he lost it.
Yeah, there's definitely an original copy of one of Neil Gaiman's things.
Somebody's got that script in a taxi. Can't do shit with it though because
Presumably, it's the same person that has 10th Planet Episode 4 in their collection.
Wow.
Damn, that's going low.
I gotta tell you right now,
that's just going low.
If Chibnall didn't fuck up relations with China, we probably could have had some missing episodes, but whatever.
No, I think China was pretty exhausted for missing episodes. I think it was just Africa where they sort of haven't really thoroughly checked, because that was where they got Enemy of the World and Web of Fear from.
I was teasing about trying to get. When I worked at my old job, I was dealing with this huge, rich person from China that I was trying to see if I could get the missing episodes from him, if I could bring it to me. Like it was hysterical. I made jokes about it, but it's just somebody's got them.
Well, they've said Philip Morris has said officially that he knows of 3 or 4 that exist but are in the hands of private collectors. So they're out there. It's just a matter of convincing them or waiting until they die and that their estates are passed on.
Yeah, because their estate will sell it.
I don't know if it's true, but I read a report recently that apparently private sellers and the people that are keeping these recordings are fearful that they will be reprimanded by the BBC.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's why they don't want to hand them over again.
Well, why can't the BBC sign the thing that they're not going to go after them?
Probably because they're a bloody big corporation, and
they will go after them. Probably that's why.
Yeah, they probably can't help themselves.
Well, I heard from Sammy Carter that every missing episode is being returned. So.
Right. Do we think that what's her name? What's her name now? That the companion? I can't remember her name. Gone out of my head.
New one.
Yeah, Ruby.
Ruby
Sunday.
Yeah, Ruby Sunday. Do we think that she's going to copy it during? Well, I know I said that earlier today, and Connor said that she's in the next series.
Weirdly, you've asked me that today. You've asked me that today, and he's asked me that today. Who is hosting this damn show? And
Yeah.
my answer to both of you has been exactly the same, and is that she's.
Well, you know what it is? I asked you, but the thing is, I knew she's in the next season too, but I meant like she dies next season.
I mean, she could die and come back, I suppose, but
No, I'm saying not this season, next season, season 2. That because she pissed off Russell T Davies, he kills her off.
I don't think that them rumors about Millie Gibson are true.
Why
About the
not?
whole that
How
she's a
could that
diva.
be? Because you think he lied about that whole? He orchestrated that whole thing that she was fired from set. And
Well, he didn't
being
write
punished?
that. He didn't write that. That was the media. The media
But-
wrote that.
he didn't say that wasn't true, though.
The media.
but then-
would never, the media.
No, but usually if something's not true, he'll say it. But he didn't. He went with it, though.
I mean, fair point.
In fact-
Fair point. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, to be honest, if it was true, it looks bad. If it
He
wasn't
leaked it. He leaked it about her getting fired because he didn't want anybody else to leak it. So he fucking leaked it.
I want actually on that point. If he did leak it, even if she was a massive diva on set and was impossible to work with, and as a result got fired, if he leaked that, he is the worst person on earth to work for, and I would never.
It could be though, because listen, it could be
She's
because
an
what did
18
Christopher Eccleston say? I mean, like
She's an 18-year-old child. If you're going to do that to an 18-year-old child as a grown man, someone of RTD status.
Well, hang
bro, he
on.
yelled at people
Yeah,
in
but
wheelchairs.
yeah,
What
but-
are you talking about? He's like,
Yeah, but
Davros is
Connor-
not going to be a wheelchair user. That's it. And people with wheelchairs
Yeah, but
were yelling
Connor-
at him, and he was like telling them off.
Remember, Connor, she got fired from Coronation Street as well.
Did she get
Remember.
fired?
Did she really?
I thought she
Yes,
left.
yes, she did. No,
Why?
she got fired from that as well.
Why'd she get
I
fired
don't
from
know.
that?
I don't.
I watched it a lot, and she got fired from that as well. That's why I think it was the case that she's just an impossible person to work with.
I thought that Russell T Davies felt, you know what? Too young in her career, she's acting like this. I'm going to teach her a fucking lesson.
But
Make
you
her
see,
wake her ass up.
that makes him an even bigger, worse person than her.
But to him, he's not, because he's like, oh, I need to shape her into a better person because maybe she'll learn from this experience.
He's a grown-ass man. If he's doing that in the media, playing fucking politics in the media with young 18-year-old vulnerable actresses,
Is she really
he's
vulnerable?
he's a fucking arsehole.
But is she really vulnerable? Because if she got fired already, is she really vulnerable?
Well, probably. But she probably has
She's
like
rich. What are you talking about? How's she vulnerable?
she's 18. She's 18 years old.
And she's been making money since she was what, 16 on that show? What was she on? How old was she?
It doesn't matter. She's still 18 years old. Maturity doesn't come with money.
Listen. Didn't people in wheelchairs fight with Russell T Davies, and he's like tough, and he's like telling them off because of Davros?
You know
You
what?
don't give a fuck.
I have a lot of hope for RTD's era, but he's
Me
using
too.
he's using an awful lot of his mouth in this era. I feel like, and I feel like he's disservicing his own show by many, like that thing about Davros. Many of the quotes, I feel like he's getting into the realm of he's going to say something so egregious to the wider audience that he's going to lose his audience because he says
He's gonna lose it as fast as Torchwood lost Miracle Day, basically.
so,
He seems very petty, and I mean, if she was sacked for being a diva, that's pretty ironic considering RTD is like apparently the biggest diva ever. So
Well,
True.
I mean, here's your question: Is he the same as he was, or is he completely changed? Because
nah, he's exactly the same.
Yeah.
He's exactly the same. If you read Writer's Tale, you get a pretty good idea of exactly the sort of person that RTD is in a work environment, and it's not always pretty.
yeah,
Oh, he could be a beast.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh, he can be an absolute arsehole. He can be a horrible person.
If you're not on the same side as him and you're going against him, he'll probably destroy your career, like Christopher Eccleston. He had to
Eccleston,
flee the country, right? He had to flee the fucking country. Well, so in other words, if he's really mad at Millie Gibson, right? He could basically destroy her fucking career, right? So,
Which,
like,
again,
what the fuck?
She's 18 years old.
So what is she gonna do though? But doesn't she? Isn't she having a problem now getting roles because of that?
Probably.
He fucked it up for her.
Yeah,
And like I know Joe, you're saying like, oh, she's 18, she's an adult, but like I've taught 20 and 21-year-olds that don't know who Stalin is. Like people are not
Right.
mature until they're like 25.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt because it's like you're not a minor, but
Benefit of the doubt.
sorry. But then what did she do? Right away, she went to the beach. Right? I got fired up. I go to the beach. Right? That was the first thing she did. Ah, fuck, I'm gonna go get a tan. I'm a millionaire. Who cares?
On the flip side, I know someone by pure chance that went to school with her in Manchester, and because I live up that way, and she is a difficult person to get along with.
She is.
There you go. Well, there you go. Then.
So, I mean, then here's the thing, right? Is it really wrong for RTT to do that because he sees himself as like a mentor or a teacher? And
yes, because that's not how you teach people to do good.
He's screaming at the companion, "Get back in the TARDIS!" Right? Like, shut the fuck up and get back to the TARDIS, Clara. Shut the fuck up.
You do not, as a grown-ass man in your 50s, go to the media and print stories about an 18-year-old child to destroy her career just to teach her a lesson.
I mean, honestly, listen, Connor, I think he leaked it. I think he did that to destroy her career. Yes.
Well, maybe he did leak it, and in that case, my argument would be that he's an asshole for doing that.
He might be. But the point is, here's the answer, right? Listen, but he's the asshole that's saving Doctor Who.
Well, I mean, that remains to be seen. I mean, we've seen four
exactly.
Well, he did. Well, all right. Look at the other argument. Not that I want to get political, but my country.
First 3 episodes was great. I liked Woman Who Fell to Earth, Ghost Monument, and Rosa.
Yeah, Woman Fell to Earth was
I
good.
did not like
that.
God. I know.
Wait, you liked Rosa?
I quite liked Rosa. Yeah, apart from the shitty villain, the leather coat.
Yeah.
I did not like any of that. But what was I going to say? All right. So here's the thing. Maybe the only way you could be someone big like Russell T. Davis is be an asshole. Because if you were an asshole, you wouldn't get shit done. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Like, I'm under no
like, I want this fucking budget. I don't give a fuck. I'm Russell T. Davis.
No. I have no issue with him being an asshole in a professional setting. My problem with it being is that she's an 18-year-old child. You know, she.
Okay, so I have. Wait, Connor. Okay. She's not okay. She's not a child because she's 18 and she's flaunting. She don't give a fuck, and she's not like it's like she's in kindergarten. She's a woman.
She can't even drink in America.
but that's America. She's not an American.
Yeah, but in the eyes of your law, she's not an adult.
Yeah.
But she's not a minor either, though.
And also,
wait, hold on. In the eyes of us, she's not a minor. She's 18, but she can't vote. She can't drink. Okay, that's our culture. But in UK, you can drink at 16, right?
18.
But it's not like when it's not like when you hit 18 or 21, like you magically become an adult. It's like the brain doesn't stop.
So she's just immature.
Yeah, the brain doesn't stop.
Yeah.
27.
She's like, I have to work at night? This is ridiculous. Where's my caramel macchiato, bitch?
But yeah,
just imagine the whole year of him dealing with that, right? You know what he probably said? Fuck this, bitch. I'm going to put that shit all over the... Hey, newspapers, your sales are shitty, right? I'm Russell T. Davis. Let's boost that shit.
But also, like, if you have Sorry, go on, Phil.
I was going to say, I'm quite certain she did loads of night shoots in Coronation Street anyway, beforehand. So I don't know why she's kicking up stink about doing night shoots in Doctor Who.
Because she got fired for fucking complaining about doing night shoots in Coronation Street. She probably got fired for fucking Doctor Who also. So how about this? How about not fucking complain?
I do think if you've ever met
Wow.
like a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old who's like known nothing but wealth their entire life, they are the most awful people to be around. Like that you're saying, like, oh, she was going to the beach and flaunting it off. That's what they do.
Kate, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt that she's not vulnerable and she's not a child and not
I know,
I'm
I
not
know
trying
that,
to
but,
I'm
like,
not
she's
trying to
true,
be
yeah.
I'm not trying to be a dick or I'm not trying to knock
No,
her.
I know that, yeah. But it's like
Because you know, the reason I will tell you why. The reason why I'm doing that is because as a dad, I was always scolded from my own children, like, Dad, we're adults. Dad, not teenagers. It's always the mindset of, Dad, you're fucking up. You need to see us as an individual, an adult. And like, just because I'm 18 doesn't work. So from getting fucking screamed at all the fucking time of me not getting it, and giving the benefit of that. That's kind of why now I'm giving her the benefit of that. About she's not vulnerable. She's not a child. She's an 18-year-old adult person. That's what that's coming from. Not being
but
disrespectful.
Like, that's true. But also, like, kids rush to mature. Like every kid wants to be an adult, but
Correct.
also they are
And then
not.
we
an
all
adult
want to be back
they're,
to
like,
kids when
really
we see how
tiny.
adulthood really is.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question. You know her career better than I do. Has she? I'm assuming you do, right?
I don't know a thing about her.
Oh.
Apart from that she's
All right, well, maybe Connor, you can help me. Did she come from the way she's acting? Did she come from a rich fucking family and then became an actress?
No.
No, she's not. She's not rich, but I don't think she's poor either.
Well, I'm just saying she just seems like she never went without a Starbucks drink.
I mean, my friend that went to school with her is middle class, and you know, it's the same demographic that you know.
It just seems to me that she always got what she wanted, like spoiled.
Yeah,
and she doesn't know any better. Like mommy and daddy always fucking gave me what I wanted, so even I was rich even though I wasn't. And it's like,
so what I've been told is that there is an aspect of that to her character. She is entitled.
Correct. Right. That's the word, entitled. And again, you can't consider. This is why I'm saying it dilutes. You can't call her middle class if her middle class family always enriched her life to where she had everything she ever wanted. So in essence, she's rich.
From the age of I'm gonna say for because I don't know the exact date that she joined Coronation Street, but from the age of like 15, 16, she suddenly got a lot of money because Coronation Street is one of the biggest soaps in the UK. It's not it's not a menial paying job. It's
right.
It's quite and she for the best part of a year towards the end of her stint, as Philip would probably attest, was one of the biggest characters in the show. She had all the storylines. She had all the big storylines. So she was getting an awful lot of screen time, an awful lot of money, an awful lot of attention. She was earning big buck.
Right. But so in other words, if her career ended tomorrow, she'd still be rich.
Not that rich that she had to retire. No.
All right.
She couldn't afford to lose her career now.
Well, what is she doing now?
Well, she's doing Doctor Who.
No. She's fired from Doctor Who. I know. What we're seeing is from last year or year before.
No.
What is she currently doing? Like, what is her job today?
She's doing Doctor Who because she's not fired from Doctor Who because she's doing filming for series 2.
No, she did it already.
No, but she might appear again. She's going to be like a Martha, where she appears.
Oh, so she's not fired completely.
No, she's just not the main companion.
And they're just going to explain that away, whatever way you explain.
Well, you do it exactly the same way that you did with Martha. You know, drops her off in present-day Earth with Carla, her foster mum. She goes back to a normal life, probably gets a job with UNIT. Seeing as UNIT seems to be handing out jobs left, right, and centre these days.
Yeah, if you have some time and space, you got a career at UNIT.
Can you mop a floor? You can get a job with UNIT.
I have a question for you. Is that thing bullshit about the casting that they recasted the Brigadier or no?
That Brian Blessed is not playing the Brigadier.
Okay.
No,
Wait,
that's
but
it. No, that's
rumor?
That was the rumor that Brian
Oh,
Blessed
God,
appeared on
this is getting ridiculous.
because people bloody still believe that IMDb is an official source. When I
Oh,
could go on
no.
IMDb
Me
tomorrow,
too.
and
Obviously,
I could put Daniel Day-Lewis as the new Doctor, and
You can.
it's easily editable.
the
Right.
Sun is the only reliable source of Doctor Who rumors. Clearly,
Jesus.
oh God, no.
Well, yeah, because RTD leaks all the bloody rumors to the Sun, apparently.
Yeah.
So, is it true that David Tennant's back for season 2? Because I already filmed.
I think he's going to appear in season 1. I mean, we already know he's going to appear in season 1 because his face is in the first trailer.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, like, is he actually going to appear?
Yeah, he might appear in the
No,
finale.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yasmin Finney's in
I
the
don't
finale.
think so.
Yeah, she is, though.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
But then again, that again
Take a look.
puts Shooty down.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, Joe Martin had to appear with that imposter doctor, didn't she? So that's kind of putting Joe Martin
Jesus
down.
Christ.
Yeah, that's true.
Is she going to appear again, you think?
No, because she doesn't need to appear anymore because she's not got to lift the quality of the show that she's in.
Who is the character that... What? Oh, shit. Who's
She doesn't say
Helen Carter.
when the writing is above 7 out of 10.
Jesus Christ. Helen Bonham Carter. Who's she going to be?
She's going to be... I think she's going to play a villain. I think she'll play a big villain.
She's not going to be...
I forgot she was in it. Yeah.
I don't know when she'll be in it.
No.
I'm interested to see. It sounds like she's definitely in it.
So, so here's the situation. Disney Plus, right? 8 episodes season 1, 8 episodes season 2,
Yeah.
right? Shooty says he can't film because he wants to do a play or whatever. What happens with the Disney Plus show? Because again, they want what they want. They want 8 episodes.
Yeah,
So
but by the time we're so far ahead that by the time series 2 airs, he would have been able to do a whole theatre run.
Okay. And then film last minute.
And then he's still got a year to do 8 episodes. So he'll be fine.
Okay. All right. That explains that.
We're ahead of schedule by a long, long way. By
So
about
far.
nearly a year and a half.
But shit could go wrong.
Shit could go wrong. Yeah, very true.
Like the pandemic. Like shit could go wrong really
Exactly.
bad.
Yeah, we could get another pandemic.
For some shit.
Yeah.
Chris Chibnall could write another monstrosity.
Sorry, guys, we can't film Doctor Who because there's lava everywhere. No, you know, that's shit.
Well,
Weird
actually, congratulations to Chris Chibnall, who has bagged himself a Netflix show.
Yeah. Fucking Chris Chibnall.
He's doing an adaptation of fucking Agatha Christie, which seems to be every fucking British writer's dream.
God.
Which means he's going to fuck that up.
Oh, shit.
Oh, did I say that aloud? I'm sorry. Damn that poltergeist. Ever since I saw this latest Ghostbusters movie, some poltergeist.
Oh, I didn't see that yet. How was that? That was shit?
Good.
That was, you know what? I enjoyed that. That was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was
good for me. I don't normally say that, and it was good.
All right, I gotta watch it, and
It is a matinee movie. I will give you that much.
All right, so I'm gonna try to see it because again, I'm in this weird, unique situation where I have a lot of time on my hands now. So,
Hi there, me too.
I heard that.
Thank you for firing me, but anyway, what happened? What happened, Con?
I heard that Godzilla and Kong is quite good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. That was quite good.
So
that was very good.
I guess we got the Matrix Lloyd 2 and 2 back in the day when I had all this on my hand to do podcasts. Does that mean podcasts are going to come back?
So you got fired from your job. So which director executive leaked that information to the press for you then?
I think I leaked it. I don't think I
So wait,
because
you've been properly fired because I thought you were on vacation. Like, annual
okay,
leave.
well, okay. So
That's what his job calls it, being on
yeah.
vacation.
Okay, so okay, I'll explain it away. So the thing was, I work for. I don't want. I still don't want to say because there's a possibility that I have a meeting on Tuesday and might be rehired back. So I can't. I'm not gonna like knock the company, but
Well,
I have a. Yeah, I'm gonna be. I might be rehired back.
You're
I'll
out
explain.
by
I'll
too.
explain. I'll explain. So I work for a medical pharmacy / retail. I'm not gonna say who. So
yeah, yeah.
we're in a situation where the company that I worked for, whatever, they sent an investigator out, loss prevention investigator, and we're in a situation where they're cutting payroll, and there's a lot of full timers, and what companies usually do is they try to get rid of people so they can hire part timers because they save
We
money,
can easily
even though
terminate them.
it's terrible. Even though you're there for years, it doesn't fucking matter. They want the company, so what they do is they'll send people to watch cameras, do this, do that, do this, that. And most of the time, because I worked for loss prevention also. So the way we were taught was if we're sent to investigate a case, let's just say there's shortages in the register, right? We're supposed to go there being like a fucking dick and just like make accusations and shit like that. And if we can't catch the actual person, if we get someone that has, we pissed them off or pushed the wrong buttons and they quit, then it will be like, oh, you go back to the home office, like, I got him, I fired him, I got him, they whatever. But you don't necessarily catch the person. So these guys, they come out there, some of them are not really good at their job, and they're just looking to piss somebody off to fire. So you're talking to the wrong one because you're loss prevention investigating a loss prevention person. So I know everything about everything. So the guy, he's like, he goes and he's like, okay, you voided this and you gave this free items to the customer. And I'm like, nope, didn't do that. He's like, this happened in February. I'm like, first of all, how are you supposed to remember months or weeks ago? So I'm like, I'm watching the footage. I'm like, nope, didn't do it. Yeah, you did. You voided it. I'm like, no, I didn't void it. Like, he's like, and how? So then it gets to be where you can tell if their case is solid or not solid, because when they start acting immature and start calling you a thief or saying stupid things, you know they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So the thing is, with my company, the fucking void button is on the lower left-hand corner of the screen, okay? And I'm touching the upper right-hand corner of the screen, which is the credit card button, okay? So I go to the guy and I said, look, I said, I'm just going to come in tomorrow and do my own case. And I'm going to fucking come and watch the cameras and I'm going to investigate my own case because your case, first of all, you're yelling at me. You won't let me look at the journals, all the journals I need to see. You won't let me watch whatever footage I want to see from the camera. So you already dismissed it as over. I said, but I'm telling you right now, it's not over because my name and reputation is everything. I'm the most honest person there is. But if you fucking do this to me, you're gonna get the whole fucking Matrix Lawyer 212 meme. I didn't say my name Matrix Lawyer 212, but
Yeah.
you're gonna get the whole lawyer on retainer bullshit that's been fucking. You're gonna really cross a fucking piss me off. So immediately he got me mad. I'm like, look, I'm gonna sue the living shit out of this company if you fucking don't investigate this properly. Because he was pissing me off. He was being a nasty, whatever. I was like, I'm gonna sue the shit out of this company if you're not gonna investigate this properly. So, and I says, I'll hire a private investigator. I'll find the customer. I'll do this. And I'll do crazy shit, right? So, lo and behold, I was all set to come to the store the next day. They suspended me because if I'm suspended, I can't see the camera. I can't watch. I can't go in the back and do my managerial shit, right? So I'm suspended. So I'm like, all right, well, if I'm suspended, I want to use my fucking vacation because I'm not going to not get paid. So they told me I couldn't. And I'm like, bullshit. So what happened was payroll ended and I didn't get paid for the time that I is. Well, anyway, getting back to the investigation thing. So that night, the guy goes, "You're this, you're this, you're this. You caused the company assets." Then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, like I gotta go home. It's fucking like gotta go eat, right? All right, the company's gonna contact him. No. Like, what do you mean? You're gonna go home and have dinner now, right? Yeah. Okay. You're saying you don't trust me, right? I didn't say that. You're saying I'm a thief. I'm this. So when you leave, you want me to count all the drawers still? Like thinking you're saying I'm a thief, but you want me to count the fucking money from the fucking store. You want me to count the safe. You want me to count all the fucking tills, moron, right? Then you want me to unload a truck with the fucking medicine for the fucking pharmacy that's $100,000 worth of fucking medicine coming in my motherfucking hands. I have the keys to the motherfucking store. And you're telling me you don't trust me. I was like, let me tell you something. You're full of shit, because if you didn't trust me, I wouldn't be doing those things. You do trust me. You're lying. This whole thing's a fucking sham because you do trust me 100%, but you want to get rid of me because I'm full-time and the payroll is shit and you want a part-timer. So I just proved my fucking case right there, because if you didn't trust me, you wouldn't have me count all the money, correct? So I was like, you know what? I'm going home and you're going to do the truck. And he's like, what do you mean? I says, well, my blood pressure's through the roof. I'm on blood pressure medicine. Guess what? I'm gonna go home. I don't feel well. And I fucking left. And I said, I'm not quitting, but you're gonna do the truck. And I'm gonna go. And you're not gonna eat now. Now you're gonna stay and do the truck. So I left. And they knew I was coming back the next day, and he suspended me. So I'm like, well, I want to use my time. And they're like, you can't. So now that pay period went in, and I didn't get paid for that time. So I called up and made a stink to HR. Made a whole huge fucking thing, and I told everything. I laid everything out, and I said flat out, this investigation is not doing. I'm going to completely sue. Right? She told me I was allowed to use my time. So now they were supposed to go back in the computer and give me those 2 times. They didn't, and she said I had like basically 3 weeks, so I could use my time until the investigation's over, and then either I win, I get all my time back, or if I lose everything. Fine. So I took a vacation hours because I'm suspended. So I'm like, technically I'm on vacation because I'm not fired yet. And then the week later, it was all scummy. On the weekend, I got blocked out of everything, right? And you could tell that I was upset because I do St. Patrick's Day podcast every fucking year. Mm-hmm. And this was the first year I didn't. And also, I always do something with St. Joseph's Day on the fucking YouTube channel, and I didn't. So if you really were researching, be like, oh shit, something's wrong, because Matrix Lord always does this. He must be upset. Yeah, I was upset. So I found out I was terminated, and then I found out that was why I was blocked out of all the sites, but they didn't tell me. And that they did it on a fucking day, and then they made me wait days to tell me. And then what happened was, I called. They said they're going to send me a letter why I was terminated, right? I'm like, well, don't you want me to drop off the keys? And they're like, oh yeah, you have the keys to my motherfucking multi-million-dollar store. Can you?
Yeah, reinstate me. That will.
Right. So I'm like, because I feel guilt. I'm like, I feel, you know what? You fired me. Why do I have your keys? I want to give it back to you. So I don't want to hear no shit. So I went there. And they go, I just want to let you know, you're not allowed to use the bathroom or go into any of the areas you're not permitted to. And I'm like, listen to this shit. Because I had to pay. So it's like, wait, so customers are not allowed to go back there or go to the bathroom, but you let customers use the bathroom. So now you're saying I'm less than a customer.
You're denying me.
This is a legal thing now, because now you're saying that I'm less than a customer. Because with a customer, whenever we let them go to the bathroom, we had to stay back in the back room while they were in the bathroom because they're not allowed back there. So all you had to do was stay back there with me so I could use the bathroom. But they were like, "Oh, you're not allowed to use the bathroom." So I went fucking crazy because I not there. I didn't make a scene, but
and took a piss there.
No. I called up and I called up and made a stink, and I said, How dare you say that I'm not allowed to use the bathroom if a customer's not a worker can use the bathroom? I said, you made me feel like a piece of shit. Then you tell me to transfer my prescription somewhere else. Like, fuck, to another company, same company, but why? Right? So I got mad. So I was like, and I found the customer. The customer turned out to be a CEO of a fucking company that saves all his receipts and has everything on email. So what happened was nobody contacted HR, and they were supposed to, right? Because I had all the evidence, I had all the this, and then I found out from people doing stuff for me that the footage showed all this stuff. So she's like, oh man. I'm like, what? She's like, nobody reached out to us. I'm like, oh. And then she's like, oh, they lied. And I'm like, they lied? And yeah. So there's some lying going on in the investigation. There was all this shit going on. So she's like, I have to reopen this case. And there's a chance you're going to get rehired back. There's like a 50-50 chance because there's a lot of wrong things in this investigation that it's like they just wanted it over, right? Because the paper that they gave me they sent to me on email, they said, we can't give you a reason, call up HR. I called up, they're like, we have no idea why you're terminated. I'm like, oh, that's fucking great. Nobody knows, right? So you got to explain to me because if I'm going to collect unemployment, I have to tell them, right? So now, if there's no reason, my thing was, okay, so then I should be hired back, right? And they're like, you might be, yeah. It's like, well, what the fuck is going on in this company? So, and because I kept pushing the issue and I kept pushing, nobody usually, that's the problem is like, I didn't want to lose my job because I was happy there, So I have my medical and dental. I'm supposed to get all the surgery done on my teeth. Now you just canceled all my stuff and now I can't. So it was in the middle of doing all this major surgery. Now, of course, I was going to pay for stuff too out of pocket, but now I can't. So now my teeth are fucking falling apart and now I can't get it done. And you expect me to spend thousands. So it's like, so this is the thing. So they reopened it, got a new investigator, and then they called me, but then I called them back, but there was Good Friday. So it's like they left early for the day. Can't talk to them on the weekend because it's Easter, right? Can't talk to them on Monday because Monday is considered Easter for corporate, so to be off. So Tuesday is the day I get to talk to them. And like I said, I will go back because I was happy there. I had nothing to do with whatever. And I think that I don't blame the company. I blame people working for the company that are trying to think that they're doing what the company wants by trying to save them a fucking buck. But they see us as numbers as not as people.
Yeah.
So and that's why I was kind of hurt because again, they know I wasn't a thief and I wasn't this because they wouldn't let me use the money. They wouldn't let me count the money. It's just they wanted me gone, and then they just wanted me to say, okay, sure. And that wasn't the case. I wasn't doing that. I was fighting it. So, I'm hoping I can go back, and then hopefully that person's fired. Obviously, that did that investigation, but we'll see. So that's the situation where I'm on vacation. I was on vacation, but
Right.
not work.
What's I mean, I don't know American employment law, but in Australia, you have to get if you're full time and you've been there for over 6 months, I think you need 3 formal strikes or warnings before you can be sacked.
I had 0. That's another thing. That's another thing that was the issue is that I had no write-ups in my file at the time. Nothing.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty bad for them. Then.
That's why it looks bad because even everybody was saying, well, at least they could have did was write you up. Even if it was a software glitch or something or with the register, everybody knows you didn't intend to do anything whatever. So, and that's the thing is if it's something new software issue and there's a ticket number that all the registers are breaking down or voiding shit because they can't handle something, then it's not my fault either.
Mm.
So I said you never contacted the customer. I could contact the customer. I said, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I contact the customer, I'm going to be a dick about it. I'm going to have that CEO contact my CEO of CVS. I just said it. There you go. Oh, well. Oh, well, who cares? And then fucking whatever. So there you go. And that's it. And then they're going to contact them, and then there's going to be a whole big fucking issue. So, whatever. You know what? There's other things in the background. If I decide to go somewhere else, okay. But just trying not to get terminated. But whatever. I'm terminated. We'll see what happens. Who the fuck knows? Not happy about it.
Yeah.
Every right to be pissed about it. But
I've known a lot of people who've like, especially people like in their 40s and 50s who've had like a couple of decades of experience, and they just get like these 20-year-old managers now, because like this is the norm now, is that you just get managers straight out of like university or business school or whatever, and they just don't know anything, and they fuck around people's payrolls, and it's just a hit situation.
They forget to put your time in. See that when you take a vacation, which we're getting now. But the thing is, like, I'm in a situation where now, me and Scott are older, right? And it's hard. It's harder to get a job because we're older. So who the fuck? Not that we wouldn't, but who the fuck would hire you thinking you're that age? They want the 20-year-olds that, right? So that's why I was kind of like, maybe this was going to be my last job and retire there, because I don't jump around, but maybe, who knows?
It's weird. Like, to me, it's like, why wouldn't you want someone that's had like 20, 30 years experience?
Correct.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is when you did have those 20-year-olds and then something really went wrong, they're the type of person that, it looks good on paper. But then when you go to implement it, you can't implement it because they don't know from experience, right? So,
because that's the way it was at Sears the majority of the time. They'd come up and say, "Oh, we've got this good idea," and I go, because I'd been there for so long, just tried it. That's why it's no longer here.
It's like when they get their trucks, it's like, well, the back room only holds 7 pallets, maybe 10 if you're lucky, and then you decide to give us 25 pallets, like high, right? So it's like, what do you think we're gonna fucking do? So like, it was like an Easter truck or whatever, right? So then you have to use your brain from all these years' experience. What the fuck do you do? So that's the point, is that they wouldn't know, right? Or they would come up with something like that time, like there was a remodel and the inspector comes in and they're like, the guy's like, "Oh, you can't do this," and then all of a sudden they're rearranging the back room because they don't want to get shut down, but yet they don't want to just talk to the person and just scared, right? So it's like crazy. So it's just a situation where, and then I was like, you know what? That was the thing. I'm like, I'm home, I'm streaming, I'm doing my gaming, right? Then I'm getting donations. I'm like, oh, okay. This person gave me 50. This one gave me this. So I'm like, fucking hey, shit. I'm gonna be a streamer, but it's not paying anything yet. But we'll see. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't. But this will be the week. Find out.
And at least on an up note, like I said, I saw Ghostbusters, and I finally got around to doing part 3 of my Cliffhanger Saga alternate route because I was been too lazy. So that's all.
Well, I didn't see it yet, so don't tell me anything.
I won't. No,
but
it was
you liked it?
I like Ghostbusters. Yeah, there is. I won't. This is the only spoiler I'm going to give you. There's just only one mid-credit scene, and that's the only thing they've got. That's the only spoiler.
Well, we did hear that they want to have multiple sequels.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm just saying within the movie itself, there's only one credit scene. So
let me ask you a question: is it better than Afterlife?
No, it's not better than Afterlife.
It's not better than Afterlife.
No, it's decent. It's good, but Afterlife was still.
I liked Afterlife.
Yeah,
is it better than Answer the Call?
Huh?
Is it better than the female Ghostbuster one?
God, yes.
Of course.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, yes.
I have to ask because I didn't see it.
Let's put it this way: the Saturday morning '70s cartoon was better than.
All right.
Than the female.
So anyway, we'll see.
The 2015. This is even going. Really cut my wrist. The 2015 Fantastic Four movie was better than the female lead. the 90s version, which Fantastic Four, which they did not even release.
Charlie, you know that there was a female Ghostbusters. You know, Charlie, there was a female Ghostbusters movie. Stop it. Charlie is Stick Boy, by the way. Shit. Yeah, so I mean, right now, when I get off this podcast,
Herman's cartoon series was better, and I barely even saw the Pee Wee Herman thing. Was better than the female.
I heard pretty good things about that cartoon series. Actually, people seem to really like it.
They were really good. It was really good back then. Don't die, Philip. Don't die.
Hang on. Oops.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is this week I'm just gonna do my streaming, my gaming, and after Tuesday, then if that's the case, I have to get something new. I'll go all over the place applying and whatever. But
Yep, I already tried that myself, and all the places that I went to said, "Oh, we're not hiring for that particular."
that's what
position."
I set my cutoff
Is it
in. Is like
full?
that's the point of no return. So in other words, if Tuesday, whether I hear something or not, Wednesday I go all out. I'm applying everywhere. And then
Oh, and you'll be happy to know on the Doctor Who tab of my blind dyslexic page, I do have this particular video already set up to be
Nice.
posted. So and
Excellent.
I'll send you the link to that as well.
Yes. We'll see what happens. But I want to, thank you to all the gamers out there. People have been donating to my channel. The $50, all these different things. They've been. You know what? It helps because I am getting paid Friday, but it does help. So who knows if I could do that? I told you, Scott, if I become rich, forget it. We're all set. So you don't have to worry. But never know. People could if people could go do streaming and hey chat, I'm gonna go eat, and then you're like, oh, I just made $400,000 for go eating fucking dinner.
Because here I am, I'm promoting this particular restaurant.
No, but it's like so funny. I was
restaurants. I know.
I'm watching these streamers, right, like Neon and all that, and these people are making Connor millions of dollars streaming, like just doing fucking regular shit, right? That we would do. And it's like, how is that possible?
I think Kick has been buying up a lot of Twitch streamers. Like a couple of the streamers that I watch have been given like millions of dollars to migrate to Kick from Twitch.
They're probably making money off that Twitch though. The company itself. They're getting
Speaking of restaurants, if you're in the Tulsa area or you've got one of these in your own area, definitely go see it. Definitely go get it. It's called the Paris Miban. I hope I'm saying that right. Restaurant. Oh boy, it is real good.
I told you, if I become rich, we're gonna do like a real Whovians meetups where I'll go travel to fucking Philip Archer, pick his ass up, go fucking eat in Italy or some shit or whatever, corporate jet, right? Go get Scott. We'll do like our own fucking YouTube original goddamn shit.
Hell yes.
It'll be right. I told you, I don't care, man, because that's the case. Is like you want to spend time with your friends, so like I would do that in a heartbeat, So, absolutely, it'll be fun. And I don't know if you guys are gaming and stuff. I recently got the platinum for Tekken 8, which was I love fighting games too. And I know you game, Connor, right?
Right, but I just never could get into them.
Connor, you play video games, right? I think Connor's sleeping, right? What time is it? Maybe he's sleeping. But I just beat Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. So now the biggest, some of my haters are like, well, you could beat 4. First of all, I'm going right.
Yeah, you're already at 4. You're shooting 4.
I'm gonna just, but that's, in other words, what happened when I beat 3? I went to sleep. I woke up. I lost my rank. My mom, because this is what happens, right? You have to understand, like, I'm on the leaderboards. So I was 5th in America, and then I was 4th, right? In the world, I was 58, right? And then all-time platinums, I think I was 26. Yes, 26, the number. I was 26 on the thing of all-time. Because I always use the number 26. But it was actually 26. So, like, I'm trying to do all these different things at once. I want to have the most platinums ever from anybody in this planet. But besides that and getting records, I want to be number 1 in America, and then after that, number 1 in the world. So I made 4th place, and then the next thing was 3rd place. But because I deviated I was like, all right, now I want to work on this AAA title. I wanted to reserve the 6,000th platinum to be Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. And that meant I can't platinum anything else until that's done. So other people will be like, oh, shit, he ain't doing nothing now. now's our time to beat his ass. And they're like, fucking, this is what happens. It's like, they saw a weakness, a kryptonite, whatever, and they kicked my ass while I'm fucking sleeping because I was spending too much time on the one game for days, right? So, or day or whatever, 2 days. So I lost it, but now I just got it back because I was crazy today.
Whoa,
But
what the hell?
But then again, I've been podcasting for fucking a while, so I might have lost it again. But we'll see. It's just I can't be doing this like every minute of the day, though. It's gotta have a life. So, I know some people.
A life.
Well, I mean, I have a life gaming,
No.
but I mean a life, like not gaming
Yeah,
every
I
minute
know.
of the day. Like I want to go out, I want to spend time with family. It's like, right,
Yes.
right, Sharon. Yeah. So. All right, so Doctor Who, I did love the trailer. Well, I love the teaser better.
Oh, I love the trailer. Yeah.
I love the teaser better, and I felt like Philip felt that why you're reusing shit from the teaser from a week ago. But again, I like the teaser better than the trailer. The trailer, I was like, it was good.
Is it because they used that one theme song, that one song inside the teaser where they didn't?
No, I don't think it's no, I don't think it's the. I mean, okay, so I did like the moment that he got pissed off.
Yeah.
Because I like when the Doctor gets pissed off, and then he starts like with the thing like, I will fucking destroy every motherfucking thing ever, because I'm the motherfucking Doctor, bitch. And he's like getting mad. And he's like tearing his eyes. Like, fuck you up, right? So like when we had a Good Man Goes to War and 11 got pissed, like I just fucking love that. Same thing like with David Tennant fight, 10th Doctor fighting a family of blood, and he just
Yes.
he had him defeated. He didn't give a fuck. I'm gonna throw you in a mirror. I'm gonna put a fucking scarecrow mask on your head, and I'm gonna throw you out the fucking TARDIS airlock into space in chains, screaming like a fucking animal. Like it's just when the Doctor's pissed, it's like almost Valyardish.
Yes.
Like holy shit, you could become full on Valyard, right? Like Time Lord Victorious, you're like one more step. Then you're fucking donning that black fucking garb, and you're like fucking Valyard, and I will kill everybody. It's like, oh shit. That's why it's like, it just gets so good. So seeing Shooty fucking angry like that, like I will take. What did he say? I will take your whole battle world.
Yes.
And just
fucking
wreck that shit like you wouldn't believe. So I don't know who he's talking to. Was he Connor? Was he talking to Jinx Monsoon's character? When he was that pissed?
No, that's in Moffat's episode. That line.
Really?
Yeah, the one about the battlefield. It's in Moffat's.
I fucking love that. I love that when he gets pissed off.
Yeah, I'm sending you those.
Okay, so all right, I gotta answer questions. Okay, so if you know Rayman Legends, you know that I can't just get the platinum tomorrow. It's a thing where we have to play every single day challenges, right? So in other words, the last trophy on Rayman Legends, I have to get the final level of awesomeness. So you get a point for getting a bronze trophy in the game, not the PlayStation trophy. You get 5 points for this, and so in other words, imagine that I have 1,539 points to reach that level. If every day I'm only getting 5, right, or 10, it's going to be a whole year before I get Rayman Legends platinum, because it's a grind. It's not. I've been playing this game for fucking years, and then I've been stopping on and off, but you have to play it every single day for a certain amount of time, because you got to compete in the challenges. So there's no way possible that I can get the platinum in Rayman Legends tomorrow or a week or two, because I'm playing it every day. So I'm not even past 1,500 and something points. So I got to get to 0 to get the final level of awesomeness. And trickles down. So I'll make a video about it, but I'm nowhere near the thing yet for Rayman Legends. But it is on the agenda because it's one of the hardest platinums, ultra rare platinums for cheap. Crash Team Racing, I own it. It's in my shoebox. But I said I'm going right to Crash 4. So, but again, I'm not going to Crash 4 full-fledged like Crash Warped. I'm going to be playing it and then playing other stuff and then playing it and going back and forth because I don't want to lose my ranking anymore. I just got my 4th ranking back right before the podcast. So I know the guy is playing video games while we're doing this, so that's fine. But I just lost Scott. So yeah, I am working on it. I just didn't stream it, but I am working on Rayman Legends.
Hit the wrong X.
All right, we're gonna get off here. Want to thank Connor. Want to thank Philip, Scott,
Thank you.
Kate. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day to talk about Doctor Who. No promises, but I'm gonna try to get some podcasts done this week while I'm off. So we'll see what happens. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Take care. Bye for now.